Um, I'll move on a little bit now from my talks about the 1950s to after I went to grammar school in the 1960s. I won't quite start at the beginning though, or with the school. There was a time when I had a cough at the time, and my father said, well, he'd go with me to the doctors. I thought it was just a normal cough and nothing much really of concern. But anyway, it was a most odd event. We went to the doctors, and Dad went in first, and then I went in, and it was the other doctor, not the main doctor that had been there for years. And he said, well, he asked about my cough and prescribed some medicine for that. And he said, you get into an age now when you need to take an interest in girls as a man. If you can just imagine this, it's a very, very strange situation. And he said, you need to direct your attentions to girls. And you think, yeah. He said, I want you to understand that ultimately, when you grow up, you need to get married and have children. Yeah. I want you to see the time between now and then. I want you to have as many relationships with girls, women as they will become, as possible. Direct your energies towards forming relationships with girls. Don't think that you should sort of stand at a distance and imagine relationships with girls. If you can understand that, then because your father wants you to join the Toc H, which might seem to have nothing to do with this whatsoever, but think of it as an acceptance into the adult community, and this is what it involves. And that was it. Now, years later, I'm still a bit puzzled, really, to be sure what he was trying to say. But when I came out, Dad said, "Are you okay with the doctor?" Yes. Did he have anything for you? He said, "Well, yeah." He gave me some cough medicine, and basically seemed to be saying I should get myself a girlfriend. Oh, that's fine then, he said. And then about 4 or 5 days later, he said, would you like to come with me to the Toc H? As though this was like the wonderful opportunity. Okay, well, so we go to the Toc H. Now, the Toc H, of course, I need to explain, I suppose, it was an organisation, I now know this, formed, I think, during the First World War by MikClayton. What its connection to us as Claytons is exactly, I don't know. But certainly was founded by somebody called Clayton, who I never met. in Belgium, as it was founded in Belgium as a refuge for soldiers during the First World War. He was I think he eventually became a minister, whatever you call it, in the Anglican Church. But it was presented to me, I suppose, as this is the community where we go to look after the needy. At the end of they had meetings once a week, and at the end of the meeting, they used to say, at the going down of the sun, and in the morning we will remember them, the war dead. Now, it was explained to me that it was actually formed as a Christian organisation, enveloping all and every faith, type of Christian faith, but welcoming people who were not of the Christian faith. Now, I was told that the minister, this Mr. Statham from the Congregational Church, was involved with the Toc H, but he could never actually seem to come to any of the actual meetings because he was always busy with other things. I can only remember him coming once. Now, always to me in the church, in the Sunday school I went to, and in the Toc H, it seemed as though, now I'm never quite sure whether Christianity was used as a veneer of respectability for a group of people that didn't really believe in Christianity, who wanted to do good works within the community in peace, or whether in actual fact it was the other way around, and that it wasn't quite the thing for people in our community to admit to being Christian. So if you went to a Christian thing, you made out that it was a cover-up. If you can see the subtlety here, I'm not really sure, but anyway, it was set up, as I understand it, to do with ex-servicemen, but we had nothing in our branch to do with ex-servicemen at all. It was almost entirely to do with providing help for the old folk, our parents, my parents' parents, and the other people in there, that their parents, the old people. We organised outings particularly for them on a regular basis, and we used to take the old people from Norway out to various places. I was asked to help with the navigation, which was made out to be a big deal, to find the way to these various places you went to. I have to admit I can't really remember where we went to, but it's one of those things you got out of a Saturday with a group of old people who had stories to tell, and I love old people's stories, always have done. So it was a really nice thing, and I couldn't quite understand though why I had to be sort of initiated into it, and I was the youngest there, that's for sure. It was a group of people, must have been in their 30s at least, helping people in their 60s and 70s. But I can't really remember very much specifically that we did, other than sometimes we would go down to and provide gifts, to the Evergreen Club. Dad used to call out the bingo there, but he used to go as a member of the Toc H to do this for them. He was good at it too. He did it until he was, well, on and off, and until he got to the point he couldn't see the numbers. When it was what, 84, 85, something like this, he was still doing things for the old people, who of course by then were younger than him. But we did that. They provided presents at Christmas for the old of the village, and these outings in the summer, probably 7 or 8 hours into a year, that sort of thing, for which the money had to be raised, and I don't honestly know where it came from. It was in all these things. There was a mystery. You were involved, you were in it, but you never really quite understood how it worked, because they seemed to be able to mysteriously do things for people with nothing. It always amazed me that people were grateful. Before I give in this talk, I had a look at the way the Toc H was supposed to behave, and it doesn't seem to bear a great amount of relevance to it, because it was essentially it was formed for the services, and whilst the members may have been from ex-servicemen, most people were ex-servicemen in those days, of course, they'd been in the war or were called up immediately afterwards, but it wasn't, as far as I could see, directed at the ex-servicemen. It was ex-servicemen getting together to provide people who had, I suppose, all old people had been involved in serving their country in the past and were to be respected. So in this way, it was very consistent with either the Christian belief or the a belief in the old gods that look after old people. There's no inconsistency there I can see at all. So at that, I'll say bye.